never forget when Antonio mentioned, and first place in master category pink and white, Ghenna Gonzalez. And I'm like, are you for real? I mean, you can even see my pictures on Facebook. I was like, very happy.
What did you do before you started doing nails, and how did you actually get into the nail industry?
Well, I was studying industrial design. I was between do that or maybe architecture, because at the beginning I always loved, like I said, painting, designs, everything. So in the halfway of my studies, I realized that I wanted to change because something was missing. So my twin sister, she started doing all the hair in the beauty system, and I joined her. Ever since we both started, we tried to do nails, and it was very nice because even though we are twins, we have very different styles. So I remember starting with the basic classes. So I started and see, oh, this is more complicated than I thought it would be. I started practicing. Then I started in my house doing applications, you know, with family and everything.
To go back to the beginning of your career, when you first started doing nail competitions, can you tell us a little bit about your first competition?
Wow, my first competition was when I was 22 years old. It was in the States, actually in Las Vegas. We asked certain international stars about getting information about the competitions. They say, oh, it's only for America, you are not interested, you shouldn't go. But we went anyway because I think you learn from every experience. So when we went to Las Vegas, I remember entering the fantasy competition. I didn't know that you have to design your work like 2 months or 3 months before. So basically, I spent an entire night doing my work. Next day we went to competition. Of course, I forgot what I did last night. And I dressed my sister. I did horrible, but I learned a lot because I got to meet amazing people, and they taught me a lot about competition. So next year I came, and it was amazing because I got third place in 3D.
Very good. So that was your second year that you got third place.
Yeah.
And doing better in the competitions, when did that start?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
In Rome. I went to support and be part of the Spain team. I was competing in all categories, and I won third place in the design inlay. I would never forget at the beginning when I started doing this profession. I remember that they told me, when you are great in design, it's a little bit difficult to be great also in technique. So ever since I heard those words, I'm like, I'm gonna be good in technique. I have to practice. And so I competed in French application, pink and white, and I thought that was a really great experience. And also we won as a team.
I've seen some of your designs and they're very complex. Now, when you're planning these, do you have a favorite type of product to use as far as acrylic or traditional gel, gelish? What do you like to do?
Well, right now I love using all kinds of products. When I started with Harmony, I was 100% acrylic. It took me a while to adjust to the change. I think of myself as an artist. I love to create, I love to design. So it took me a while, but nowadays I can tell you I'm 100% everything. As long as you love what you do, I think, and you have an amazing product, you can do whatever you want.
Your nail art designs are so complex and beautiful. Can you tell us where the inspiration for those comes from?
Well, usually the inspiration comes from everywhere. I mean, if I go to walking in the street and I get to see a clothing store, if I like a print, I'll go and take pictures. I mean, I think that we are surrounded, you know, by inspiration. I think that the main key of getting designs is to be able to relate it to the products that you are using. It's amazing what you can create once you start like playing, you know, with the product, with the consistency.
So you are one of the Deans of Education for Harmony. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started with the company?
It was in Spain, and I remember I go back to that moment, and it's a very emotional moment for me. I always mention this to Danny because I was freelance back then. I was this close to quit. So I remember one person, he told me, do you want to go to Spain? I mean, we cannot pay you, but at least we can give you the experience. Do you want to go? And I say, of course. I mean, not every day you get invitations like that. And so they say, you are going to the Madrid show. And I will never forget that I saw Danny and Gary Don. They were walking in the show and they saw me. And I was like, hey. And they both look like, they go around and they ask me, how have you been doing? And I'm like, okay. And they say, so are you freelance now? I say, yes. So then after like a couple of hours, I got to talk to them and they say, what do you want? And I always say, for me it's very important as a professional person, as an artist, to learn. And I think that in this industry you never stop learning. So the first thing I ask is to be taught, you know, to learn more, to grow. So when we got to go to the Mexico show after seeing Spain and talking, I would say that everybody expects from me that not to do nails anymore. So you can say I was born again in that particular day. Ever since then, it has been an amazing experience with the company, and it changed my entire life, because when I got to go home, it was amazing to tell my mom that I had this amazing job.
So you mentioned earlier how important it was to always be learning in this industry, and you are a teacher now. Do you have a favorite part about teaching new nail techs?
I think my favorite part would be showing everything to my students, every detail, every secret. Because I think that when you're a great teacher is when you give everything to your students, because you are not only a teacher, you become somebody they look up to. My name is Ghenna Gonzalez. I'm from Mexico. I'm the Director of Education for Latin America and also Dean of Education for Harmony.